Raisa, a young nurse, had just been hired to work at an old hospital that was on the verge of shutting down due to outdated facilities and declining patients. That night, she was assigned her final shift before the hospital would be officially closed the next day. Most medical equipment had already been moved to the new building, leaving the massive structure empty and eerily quiet. But one thing unsettled Raisa, a rumor among the veteran staff that the hospital was haunted by the restless spirits of patients who died without family or forgiveness. The beginning of the night, Raisa stepped into the nurse's station, her heart heavy with unease. The clock on the wall struck 9 p.m. Only two faint lights illuminated the long, cold corridor, which felt unnaturally still despite the lack of wind. Just one night, Raisa whispered to herself, trying to calm her nerves. As she reviewed the final reports, she heard soft footsteps from the floor above. Her heart raced. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice trembling. No reply came, only silence. Mysterious whispers. As midnight approached, Raisa began to hear strange noises. Gentle whispers echoed from the supposedly empty wards. Summoning her courage, she checked the rooms one by one, only to find them vacant. Returning to her desk, she froze in shock. A note written in red ink lay on her desk. "Don't leave us." Her hands shook as she reached for the paper. But as she touched it, the note slowly dissolved into thin air like smoke. Encounter with the spirit. At 1 a.m., the corridor lights flickered sporadically. Raisa heard crying from the far end of the hallway. With a flashlight in hand, she followed the sound to a darkened room. Inside, an old woman sat on a bed. "Grandma, why are you still here?" "The hospital is closed," Raisa asked, struggling to keep her composure. The woman slowly turned, her wrinkled face marred with scars, and smiled faintly. "I never left. I died here, dear." Raisa stepped back, but the door slammed shut. The woman stood, moving toward her. "I only want someone to hear me. Don't leave us alone here," the woman said in a raspy voice. Raisa ran from the room, but the corridor seemed to stretch endlessly. Shadowy figures emerged from the walls, blocking her path. "I don't want to die here," Raisa screamed, tears streaming down her face. As she reached the exit, a cold hand grabbed her wrist. Turning, she saw a man with a bloodied face. "Help us. Don't let us be forgotten." Raisa screamed and broke free, bursting out of the hospital just before dawn. The next day, the old hospital was demolished. Raisa, still shaken, decided to quit nursing. Yet, the memories of that night haunted her dreams, whispers, calling her, pleading for help.